Luigi's Mansion 2 is the odd one out of the Luigi's Mansion franchise. I know a lot of people don't like this game, but it getting ported over to the Switch was a very interesting thing to happen. So I played this HD version of it on the Nintendo Switch, and what do I think of it? I like this game, but what do I think of it as a port? This game is definitely not worth the 60 bucks. It makes more sense to be a $40 game, and I'm glad that it's on the Switch and all, but it really is not worth that price. I do want to say that the controls do feel kinda awkward on Switch, but I got used to them quickly, and the game was basically just enhanced to look better, so for the most part, the game looks like fine as is. There isn't really too much of an art style to this game. It's like kinda cartoony and there definitely is some charm to it, but it honestly isn't really the best looking game. They could have made it look like Luigi's Mansion 3, but I guess it gets the job done. But like I've said, I actually like this game. Quickly getting into the game's plot, basically King Boo destroys the Dark Moon, the ghosts go insane and you basically gotta go stop them. It's really simple and like that's it. There really isn't much going on with the story. You know, EGAD will occasionally call you, and when you go back to his lab, he'll talk to you about something or give you something. That's literally it. I eventually just stopped paying attention to it for a while, but I can tell the gameplay was like the main priority at hand. And honestly, I actually like this game's gameplay structure. It basically goes for a mission structure. You know, you have to go to like each mansion. Well, every mansion in the game has specific like levels to it, so you basically gotta like go around the mansion and do something. I know people aren't the biggest fan of this gameplay structure, but I actually like it for this game and I can kinda understand why they went for that. It would have been nice if they did go for an open structure for the game, but they decided to go for missions. And you still do get to explore the mansion somewhat, but you do kinda get dragged back to EGAD's lab every once in a while when you're done with your mission. Speaking of EGAD, every once in a while you'll get called by him and it's kind of annoying, but not like the biggest game breaker ever. He just occasionally calls you after you like do something and that's literally it. But I was honestly enjoying my time exploring all these mansions, and they all have something unique to them. The first one is a pretty standard basic mansion, but in like one of the rooms there's this like water tank, where basically there's like a sort of puzzle evolved around it, which is kinda cool. There's like a clock mansion, there's an ice mansion, and like a bunch of these other ones, and I was enjoying my time with them. It's nice going around every nook and cranny of these mansions, looking around, finding what you can. There's like little collectibles around, you can like find booze occasionally. You know, there's a decent amount to do in these mansions. It is nice that these mansions do have a specific little thing to them to make them feel different from each other, instead of just going through the same mansion again. I think the ice one introduces the teleporting thing, which I actually think is cool. The clock one has these like great ground that constantly moves. But getting into your base moveset in this game, you basically have the poltergust, you could suck stuff up, you know, capture ghost. I think this was the game to introduce that new flashlight ability where if you shine it at something, a door will appear, or you can let stuff come out of paintings. It's nice how you can interact with the environment with this stuff. And speaking of that, I do like the little things you could see, like if you peek into something, you could see like ghosts fooling around. You could also use your flashlight thing to save like toads. This game isn't really scary. Maybe like 2 times in a row, like I saw King Boo and that scared me, and there's like this doll room you can stumble upon. But there is a charm to this game. It's just kinda cute, wholesome, I guess. I like seeing Luigi break it down when he gets the poltergust, or all of his like different scared animations. I do kinda like how the ghosts do have their own personalities. Like the red ones are like the tough guys, the blue ones like to hide and mess around, and Bob Meyer is into music. I do kinda like how the ghosts look in this game, but they are kinda basic design-wise. This was the game to get rid of like Portrait Ghost, so you're kinda just stuck with normal ghost. I do want to mention that this was the game to introduce Polterpup, which I think that's cool. So instead of having some interesting ghost designs, you have like the Possessor Ghost taking over like bosses, which I actually like the bosses in this game. There are some creative ways you have to take them out and you gotta use your brain a little bit. I like them. There are some cool bosses in this game, like a staircase. I know it sounds kind of lame, but I think it's cool. A literal giant knight out of nowhere, just kind of unexpected. And I do enjoy the King Boo boss fight at the end of the game, so I enjoyed the boss fights in this game. But I should really get into this game's whole combat system. So you can go around all the mansions and find money, and if you do, you basically could level up your flashlight and poltergust, making you stronger and making you able to take out ghosts faster and easier. Each ghost have their own little element to them, like the red ones can like slap at you, the blue ones hide and all that other stuff. And there is like a slight challenge to it, like the ghost could basically become mummies, they're able to basically like hide their faces and you have to like suck their sunglasses off. Like, that stuff is cool. There's many different ways to take them out. Like, there's these slime ones, which if you're not careful around, you'll get like slimed up and you have to use your flashlight for them. But overall, the combat's pretty decent in this game. There isn't really much else to talk about except like, I think the game gets kinda hard near the end, and let me just say, I think this game has a terrible save system. If you mess up on a mansion, you're done for, unless you find a golden bone, which could be really random sometimes. I just think the save system in this game sucks. Really, the only thing left to bring up is Scarescraper, which I find to be a pretty fun mode, but if you play by yourself, it instantly loses that fun factor. It's honestly more fun when you play Scarescraper with your friends. Playing by yourself just starts to become kinda boring, to be completely honest, but I enjoy Scarescraper, but I don't think many people are going to be playing it. I did forget to touch upon this game's music. There are actually some tracks I do like in this game, like the da-na-da-na-da-na-da-na-do-do-do-do. Like that one's pretty catchy. Like, there are some good tracks in this game. But overall, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is like a fine enough port as is. Definitely not worth the $60, but reviewing it as its own game, I like it. I get many people don't like this game, but there's just, you know, like there's something to it. It's like the black sheep of the Luigi's Mansion series, but there is just something to this game that I like. I dig the mission structure. I think there is some sort of charm to it, and I had fun playing it. If I was going to rate this game as like a port, it's like a 7 out of 10. If I was to rate this game as a game, I would give it a 9 or an 8 out of 10. If you're just really bored, I guess I'd recommend this game for you. I get everybody doesn't like this game, but I do, and I enjoyed it, so yeah, that's basically it for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.